We live in a predatory world. It is probably clear to most individuals that any human being starts out as a fertilized egg, grows into a fetus within the womb of its mother, is birthed and grows into an adult. However, few probably think about the fact to perform this feat, the individual starts out as a fertilized egg, had to eat and consume something to grow into that adult human. Humans will need to eat something almost every day to live. Humans will need to drink something every day, but do we pay attention to what is actually occurring? To eat anything, we are predatory. The definition of predatory is about an animal that preys naturally on others. This is exactly what humans do. We do not call it preying on others, but that is in essence of what we're doing. Now, there is nothing wrong with this. It's just quite natural and part of the process of living as a human being. Although you could say that one could live and not prey on another animal, but one will nevertheless prey on something. To eat only plants is to prey on plants. The human being needs to eat to stay alive, but also needs to drink water and breathe air. Eating, drinking, and breathing integrally ties us to our environment and physical creation. So however you wish to look at it, the physical experience is predatory. We are consuming something. The question is, what do we consume? As a result of the journey of exploration into our creativity, there are some aspects of this predatory nature that can affect our creativity in different ways. As a minimum, we need to use the creativity perspective to see if in our methods of getting anything of our needs met, are we compromising our creativity and ability to explore options? Or do we limit our options in an attempt to guarantee we get what our needs are and have them met? From the earliest age, a child learns to prefer a set of actions or alternative actions to satisfy their caregivers to get what the caregiver provides. Normally, the preferred actions are good and being good. But does the caregiver realize that in the way that they may be requiring the child to be, they may be inhibiting that child's potential in the future? From the physical perspective, we normally talk about four aspects to a human being: a mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. Whether we realize it or not, in addition to the physical needs, we have mental, emotional, and spiritual needs. These needs also will be obtained from someone, and in doing so, we are eating of them in some way and preying on them. So this predatory aspect will exist at every level of our being. Now, in general, as previously said, there's nothing wrong with this. It's just the way human beings are. From accessing the depth and breadth of our creative power and creative ability, it is helpful to understand some of the ways this predatory aspect affects our creativity. Seeking to get what we think we need for whatever reason we have often becomes an occasion to explore options. In exploring those options, we move past the limits and barriers we have set for ourselves, and we are pushed to become more creative in what we do. Since we are all so uniquely different, the easiest way to address this topic is to give an example of our needs and somehow they can become predatory. The most important takeaway from the predatory world discussion is that we will take and eat something of someone, and someone will come and take and eat us in some way. The question is, what we take and what is taken from us, is it done in a rather insensitive way, if not a violent way, or is it done in a communion and an intimately sharing of the creative process? To simply ask a simple question of any other, like asking a gas station attendant for directions to help fill out our needs to get where we're going, we are eating of them. We are taking and eating their time and their mental understanding. We are taking their body and the energy within them to live in that moment to answer our question. We need to understand that this attendant is there to give us an experience that we desire to have, and it is the fulfillment of something we created. We are taking of their life and their energy. Do we do so in communion or robbing them in our lack of awareness of that we are eating of them? We transmit through the unseen realm the beauty and the magic of creation. We give them something unseen whether we realize it or not. We do not live from this understanding that we're in this give and take share, that they are fulfilling something for which we ask. We are simply robbing them of their life for our wants, and we transmit that at an energetic level whether we realize it or not. However, what is described here is done at every level of our being, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. We are taking from someone or something. The question is, do we see ourselves in communion with another as they fulfill the experience we desire to have, or do we live in separation, taking from them and essentially robbing them? It is here we can understand the value in saying thank you for every interaction we have and what we are giving in that interaction. We need to say thank you with an honest thankfulness of what is taken from them. Also, there is the issue about giving back and being eaten by another in some way. Do we give when asked in communion, or do we withhold and struggle in some way against what we are being asked to give when we're asked to give to be eaten by another? Here again, we need to look at the creativity perspective and look to see if we're holding our creativity sacred. Do we withhold or give in a way that compromises our freedom to explore options, or to give freely in a communion? Creatively, we need to remember it is about the freedom of movement to explore options. Given something does not mean we are losing, and in holding when we are asked to give, we are limiting ourselves to the past. However, if we give and let go, we are moving past our existing limits and opening up to new option and possibility. We're not holding on to our creative life energy, we allow it to flow freely into an unfoldment. What is key to realize here is there is a flow of energy that is giving rise to our life and carrying us to the experiences we incarnated to have. So in living life, we should look to establish a flow into and out of our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspect of being. Holding at any level of our being can restrict and limit our creative expression. Here we need to look to see if we are truly being served as to what in our life, coming into our life and leaving our life. Here we need to look to see if we are truly being served as to what is coming into our life and leaving our life.